Welcome to the Quarry in Shrewsbury, home of the 122nd Flower Show. There's literally thousands of things for families to see and do here in the Quarry. There's a whole host of flower demonstrations, gardens to see, and of course food, drink and an arena full of displays for 12 hours from 10 in the morning till 10 at night, both days, Friday and Saturday, culminating with a fantastic firework display. Here at Shropshire Live, we're going to take a look back at the weekend's activities to the whole host of different things that you can see and do at the Flower Show. At the Flower Show, we've been looking at a whole different host of things that you can see and do. One of the things is a selection of gardens that are being put on by local firms and companies to demonstrate the different things that you can do in garden areas. I'm joined by Pam from the Beekeeping Housing Trust.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So where did the idea come from for your garden?
Well, the idea of the garden is to create something that any young couple that might be moving into their first rented property with very little money might want to create a garden in very short periods of time. Low cost. As you can see, the paving slabs are things that don't need cutting. There are tiles that are broken in between the slabs that are just chopped up and put down there. Very little cost there. Mixture of flowers, plants, vegetables, so that people can be
sort of
self-sufficient really. There also, it could be a couple who are keen on the environment, so we've got a compost bin, water butt. And probably the most expensive thing in the garden is the tree that we've got that is in a pot, but they can take that with them when they move on to another property.
Yeah, so and it doesn't have to be the biggest of areas either.
No, it isn't, because this is a reasonably small area, but because we've got sort of flowing lines rather than straight paths, it gives the idea that it's a bigger garden than what it actually is.
Excellent. How long did it take to design your garden?
Well, we actually started thinking about the design only 9 weeks ago.
Really?
Yes. And then the construction started last Sunday when we were allowed on the site. And our tradesman from the Beekeeping Housing Trust constructed the facade for the property that's behind us.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about the Housing Trust and what your role is.
Well, the Beekeeping Housing Trust provides housing. Majority of our properties are in the Telford and Wrekin area, but in more recent times we're branching out into the area of Shropshire, which is why we thought it would be good to come to the Shrewsbury Flower Show.
Excellent. And you are soon, I believe, opening a centre in Shrewsbury.
Yes, it's just down, just next to Bellstones, and that will be opening shortly to cater for the fact that we're actually having a presence in Shropshire.
Well, thank you. Good luck with your new project, and thank you for this fantastic garden. So we're here with Lance Jackson, who's doing the bee demonstrations. Has it been quite a popular thing here at the show?
Yes, I had a very good crowd for the first demonstration today. It's always a popular demonstration. We do it 3 times a day for the 2 days of the show, and we always have good crowds.
Sounds good. Bees have been in the news quite a lot recently about them becoming fewer and far between. Is there anything people can do to help bees in their own environment?
There are a lot of issues. Obviously, having bee-friendly gardens helps. Plants that bees will like to feed on. Some of it is a management issue. Some of it is the changes in farming patterns, monoculture farming, and this sort of thing, and disease as well. There have been various diseases, particularly Varroa, which a lot of people have heard about now, which affects the young bees. It's not actually detrimental to honey, but it will kill the bees. And of course that it will be in the wild colonies in trees, etc. So although we try to control it in managed colonies, there's nothing we can do about the wild bees, so it does actually form a reservoir of infection which will always be there. But there are lots of other issues as well, and even the experts are not fully agreed as to what it is that's actually causing the current problem.
Recently you were in one of the documentaries about Victorian Farm. How much has beekeeping changed over that time?
Well, we use a lot of the methods that we used in Victorian times. It's really over the last 200 years that our knowledge has developed an awful lot more. What actually was one of the main events that first helped us understand beekeeping in a lot more detail was the development of the movable comb hive, which allows us to take it apart and look what's going on in there, whereas prior to that bees were using their natural comb, and to actually open the colony up to look meant destroying it. So the movable comb hive would certainly have been in use in Victorian times. And a lot of the old-fashioned beehives that we all think of as the traditional cottage garden beehive with the sloping white sections, known as the WBC hive, would certainly have been around in Victorian era.
Excellent. If people are interested in finding out more about being beekeepers or finding out more information, what's the best way to get in touch with you guys? Well,
through the Shropshire Beekeepers Association, who have the website. You just go onto a search engine and put Shropshire Beekeepers Association or SBKA, and that will find it. We have regular meetings once a month at the Shire Hall, normally in Shrewsbury, or out on someone's apiary, where people can actually handle bees in controlled conditions and learn about them. And of course, where we do try to run courses for beginners as well, and all the members of the Shropshire Beekeepers Association are there to help other members, so we always encourage people to join and learn more about bees.
Thank you very much, Lance. We'll put a link to that on our website at shropshirelive.com. We'll let you get on with your next demonstration. So at the Flower Show this year, we're also looking and focusing on local producers, and from Shrewsbury, Roxeter Wines, I'm joined by David. How long have you been involved in local produce?
For over 20 years in Shrewsbury. Coming to the Flower Show, we've had Roxeter Roman Vineyard, which is 4 mile down the river. So leap in the river here in Shrewsbury and float down 4 miles. You can leap out and get drunk at the vineyard.
Roughly how big is the vineyard?
We are now producing from about 10 or 15 acres of vines, which is 15 miles of vine trellising. So, it's a substantial vineyard, and we're recognised throughout the country and throughout Europe as well.
And in times with the recession, how has that hit you as a local producer?
We seem to be lacking in the number of WIs and Rotary clubs and Probus clubs that are coming along, but we seem to be gaining momentum from the general tours, the vineyard experiences and that sort of thing. So we're getting a load of visitors from that, an increase on what we had previously. But the noticeable drop, if anything, is from the local WIs, the Rotary clubs and the women's clubs and so on.
And what are your showcasing products that you've got with you here today?
Wine, which has been very, very popular. The rosé was featured on television. And of course, because of the wonderful apple years that we've been having, we've now launched into cider, Roxeter cider. Obviously, we're a beverage company. We make drinks, as it were. So, the same license, the same equipment, the same everything else goes into making the ciders and making the wine. But our cider is quite unique because it is made by a winemaker.
Right.
Having said that, it becomes more alcoholic. The equipment is all stainless steel, the high-tech presses and so on we use for the apples, which it wouldn't normally be done. And so we're making a very high-tech cider.
And it's a very popular sort of fashionable drink again, cider.
Seems to come very much popular in the last 12 months, but as I said, we've done very well with the cider. It seemed to have taken off for us. Where we've had perhaps a few less yields from the wine, the cider's easily taken its place. And of course, it is the only local product to Shrewsbury, local wine, local cider.
Thank you very much, David. As you can see, the Flower Show has been a fantastic success, with thousands of people coming out to see all the entertainment in the quarry in Shrewsbury. Remember, if it's happening in Shropshire, you'll find details on shropshirelive.com.